guys, today we have the little man joining us in the vlog. This one is going to be about how we sleep trained him at 7 months old. So they tell you should sleep train before 6 months. It's the easiest, and they're not wrong, let me tell you. You want to play with something here? He's like eyeing this. They're definitely not wrong. It was not easy, but it is doable, guys. It is 100% doable at 7 months to sleep train your child. The older they get, obviously, they start to understand things. By the way, side note, by no means do I know what I'm talking about. I am not a professional. I can only tell you about my experience and what worked for us. So that was just a side note, okay? So yeah, you can definitely do it. It is easier to do it before they begin to understand things, because once they understand that it's better with mommy or it's better to play than to sleep, then you're kind of, it gets really tricky. You have to like teach them to enjoy sleeping, to enjoy being in their crib, to enjoy, you know, having that time. And once they're in a routine and you have a routine set up day to day, it becomes so much easier. I do find though that you need to stick to a routine or it will not work. So if you're one of those people that can't really, you know, you're always on the go and you can't really be at home, you need to at least give 2 weeks of just being at home to be able to set up this routine for your child. Because they will not learn if it's not consistent and if it's not in the same place for every single sleep. So for us, here's our story with Noah. So he was born August 1st of 2019. He is almost 9 months. He is 9 months now. Who's a big boy? I like forget how old he is sometimes. So our issue was we co-slept with him. I didn't think I didn't plan on doing it from the beginning. I didn't really know what I was doing. He's obviously my first child. And I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but co-sleeping, I really enjoyed it. Like, I really liked it. I really liked knowing that he was next to me, that we were, you know, like, we would like cuddle, like every morning we'd like wake up and like cuddle, and it was so sweet. He was always near me. And as a newborn, it's like you feel like this connection with them. I'm also breastfeeding, so it's obviously like I feel like there was just this connection that I had with him. And I felt so, like I just had such mom guilt taking him out of our bed. Like, I'm like, he loves this. Like, he loves being next to me. Like, he loves that he can just have the boob whenever he wants to. But obviously, as they get older, it becomes increasingly harder for this to happen. When they're newborns, it's like one thing, I guess, for some people. For me, it was like so easy when he was a newborn. But then when they get older, it is like next level difficult. So not only are they now beginning to develop these motor skills, they're crawling, and they can easily, in the morning, if they wake up before you and he's sleeping next to you, crawl out of your bed. So that became an issue. One morning, I woke up and I almost saw him off the bed, and I said, from that day, I was like, we are starting sleep training now. That freaked me out. That really terrified me. So that's definitely why co-sleeping didn't work for me. You know, every mother decides what's best for them. I don't want to mom shame anybody. I think what works for you best is what works. Like, you know your child the best. At 7 months, having him in my bed was just not realistic for me. So he needed to be, for me, I needed to sleep train him and get him used to being in his crib. So I guess I had tried previously when he was about 3 months. I attempted, failed. 4 months, I attempted, failed. And then at 5 months again, I failed. And I think what it was breaking my heart to hear him cry. Like I like thought it was so sad. I would put him in there and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk away and I'm not gonna listen. You end up listening. Like it's your child. Your child is crying and you're ignoring it. Like what kind of human being am I? The second you realize that you are doing this for their benefit and they won't die from screaming or crying. He's like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. What? Daddy's watch? Is it Daddy's watch? That's when it becomes easier. You just need to realize that they're not in pain. If you feel like your child is crying and you feel like they're in pain, that is a completely different story. You should 100% be going in there right away. But when you know it's like a fussing and you're kind of sitting there and you're like, he's probably just, he just wants to be with mommy. What? Then you're okay. So it was about a week of crying until he put himself to sleep, and we had developed a routine. So usually he wakes up at like 7 a.m. till 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. we'd put him in his crib. Noah, Daddy's gonna kill me if he sees this. I need to, here, look, sock, look. Wow, so much cooler. So 10 o'clock we'd put him for his first nap. Then, no, oh God. Then from 10 to 12 he would sleep. At 2 o'clock we would put him back to sleep, which I know is not a big enough window because he was only awake for 2 hours. But you know what? It actually worked for us for a while. Now he's kind of not liking his second sleep. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then finally he'd go to bed at 6:30. Sorry, from 2 to 4 he'd sleep, and then 6:30 to 7 he'd go to bed for the night. So we kept this strict schedule with him for, it took us a good 2 weeks to get him like used to it. After a week he stopped. After a couple of days he stopped the hysterical crying, and it just became like kind of like I don't want to do this, like kind of crying, and then would go to sleep. But after a week, I would say, after 2 weeks, I would say he totally got it. And like he enjoyed going to sleep. Like I feel like that's the goal. You just need to make sure that they get to a stage where they enjoy going to sleep. Like he's in his crib, like it's cozy, it's comfy, like it's his crib. He needs to realize that it's, it's a place of comfort for him and it's not a place where he's being punished. And I think it just takes them time to figure this out. But once he did, it's been smooth sailing ever since, except for doesn't want to take a second nap of the day. He still does. He just fusses quite more than I'm used to about his second nap. But yeah, so I guess my biggest takeaways from sleep training is be consistent. Don't give in. Don't give in. Be strong. No matter how badly you want to go into that room, do not go into that room unless you feel your child is in complete despair. So like my husband and I kind of gave ourselves like a time. So like, okay, if he continues this for 25 minutes, that was our time, 25 minutes. If he continues this for 25 minutes, I'm going in. And we were both on the same page with this. You and your partner have to be on the same page in order for this to work. And that was, that's what worked for us. So be consistent, don't give in. And then lastly, I think it's just sticking to a schedule. A schedule is super, super important. The schedule is super, super important. And if you don't follow the same times every single day, you're not really gonna sleep train effectively. One last thing I would like to mention, what we did was we developed a series of routines that we would do before we would put him down to sleep. So he would know, so for instance, we'd give him a bath. He'd know like, okay, bath time, sleep is nearing. This was, for his nighttime bath. So for his nighttime sleep. We'd give him a bath, then we'd bring him in this room, we change his whatever, put lotion on, you know, change his diaper, do all of that, put him in a sleep sack, turned off the lights, turned on the white noise sound thing. He like loves it. And those cues made him, you know, sleepy. Good job. That was good timing, honey. He's so over this right now. So yeah, that was our experience with sleep training. I hope that kind of helped. It really did wonders for us until you actually, like, I know like you can hear other people say it and you're like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And it's like the hardest thing to watch your child cry, listen to your child cry. But trust me, it is like life-changing that I can put him to sleep at 7:30, sometimes even 6:30, I can now. And be able to have my whole night. I can like go downstairs, I can do what I need to do, watch TV, spend time with my husband, spend time with my dog, because literally all day this is what I'm doing. So guys, sleep train those children ASAP if you haven't yet. It's the best thing ever. Okay guys, that's it for today. Hope this video was informative. I will see you guys on the channel soon. Bye. No, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. He's over it. Bye, guys.